everybody, welcome into Farm Cooking with Nan. Let me look, right there it is. I was going to show you all what I got and what we're doing today. There is 8 pieces, and this is called, it's a family pack of pork sirloin, little pork sirloin steaks. And look at the price, $4.69. This is how you feed a family and watch your pennies, okay? So I just wanted to show you that. I'm gonna stop the film and I'm gonna show you real quick what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna dredge them and we're gonna make something good. I have been shredding some Parmesan. I need about a cup, probably a cup of this, and I think I've got a cup, and I don't know whether just to go ahead and shred the rest of it. And I can always put it in a Ziploc baggie and save it for another dish that I do on down the road. So I'm just going to finish that right there. And I've got some good, let me make sure I don't leave nothing up in there. Good Parmesan right there. And I will shred the rest of it when I finish all this. Okay, now I've got 2 eggs beaten right here. I'm going to put just a little bit of heavy whipping cream in there. And I'm going to beat that up in the eggs mixture. I'm going to be dredging some meat. You know, you can use this recipe if you want to, use this with pork. You can use this with, hang on a second. I have my little towel. Laws in mercy, what a day. There it is. Okay. You can use this with chicken. You can use this recipe. I've used it with chicken. I've used it with pork. And I'm going to be doing a couple of the pieces for Papa. And then I'm going to be doing a specific one for me. So I'm going to take, this is the flour, and I'm using almond flour. You can use self-rising or all-purpose flour if you're not having to watch your carbs. But this is a cup of almond flour. I brought my bag in here so you could see it's just nut flour. It's almond flour. Then, and this flour, I'm not going to put anything else. But here's Pop some panko breadcrumbs in this. He's got some panko. I put about a cup of them in there. And I'm going to mix about half of this Parmesan in this. Okay, we're going to save the rest of that to use in a few minutes, okay? I'm going to show you what else I've done. I took my bullet mixer, you know what I'm talking about, and I took about less than a half a bag. This is fried pork skins. You know what pork skins are? I'm sure y'all have eaten them. They're full of protein. They've got a few carbs in them, not many. This one has total carbohydrates, has 0, and it has 8 grams of protein. And that was just for 1/4 of a cup. So this is really going to give me a lot of protein. So I crushed up my my pig skins, as I call them. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all call them something different. I want to make sure. Pork skins. I shredded mine up, and I'm going to use them like a breading instead of using the panko for my part of the food. I'm going to use these pig skins, as I call them, but they're pork skins. So now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to season up my my bread here, my crumbs, because it doesn't have anything in it. I'm going to put a little bit of, let's see, this is garlic powder, and I'm going to put a little bit in my garlic powder. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of onion powder. That was about half a teaspoon, whatever. And then I'm going to put some Italian seasoning. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons in this one and see if that's enough. Maybe just a little bit more. And I'm going to put a little bit in my pork skins, my topping. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, Nan, that's a lot to do, you know. No, all you got to do is just put your breadcrumbs. If you're not watching your carbs, then don't worry about it. And if you are watching your carbs, then just use the pork skins. And you can put them in a blender, you can put them in a Ziploc bag and take a rolling pin and crush them down. But look, that bullet just absolutely mixed them up exactly the way that I needed them. Okay, I'm only going to do 4 of these steaks, these pork steaks. And they're pork sirloin is what they are. I'm going to turn my skillet. I just got an iron skillet here. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of oil in my skillet. And then I'm going to start. I'm letting that pan warm up a little bit, okay? Now I'm going to do mine first because I want to finish mine up before I contaminate it, maybe with something from Papa's, and I don't want to get, and I know that sounds crazy, but I don't want to get his breadcrumbs and stuff. I could still eat it, you know, as long as you eat in moderation, eat a smaller portion. But why should I do that when I've got my pork skins? So, I'm not going to explain that anymore. Look what a nice, thick steak that is. I'm going to dip it into my egg wash first, into my breadcrumbs, and these breadcrumbs is almond flour. Now, I'm going to dip it again into the egg wash, and then I'm going to take it over into my wonderful pork skins, pork rinds, whatever you want to call them. This makes a very good crust on, look at there. Such a good crust. Now, I want to get all that off because I'm going to try to find me a small one to do for another meal. I'll do 2 for me and 2 for Papa. And I'm going to take this right over and lay it into my skillet that is getting good and warm. Now, we'll put that right in there. And I'm going to take the smaller one and do the same thing. I'm going to dip it, put it in the flour mixture. And you say, Nan, why do you do that and then do this again? Well, it makes a thicker crust on it. Plus, the flour helps it to, ooh, there goes Papa's. You see what I done? And I get to talking. But I'll just give this one to Papa. That's all right. I'll give all of them to Papa but one. And then I can cut mine in half. I won't eat that much anyway. Now, and I will just take, I hate to do that. Just put Papa's right there. I'll go ahead and get him a big one. And I'm going to dip it in the egg mixture. Dip it into the flour. And remember, you can use, if you're, say, Nan, I'm not watching my carbs or anything, or I'm not having to watch my carbs, then, you know, just go ahead and use self-rising or all-purpose, whatever you've got, flour, and it will work good. Now, we'll get Papa's all done up. Once you get your stuff out in your little bowls, your little dredging bowls, honey, let me tell you something. It goes fast. It really does. And this crunchy breadcrumbs are going to be so good. So I'm going to go ahead and get Pops into the skillet. All I'm doing really is just, I am searing these real good, and then they're going to go into the oven. So I'm preheating my oven to 350. Let me get all these breadcrumbs. Let me just rinse my hands. I got me some warm soapy water where I've been washing dishes. So rinse them a little bit. Now the last one, I might just try to do for myself again, okay? Don't want none of that to get in there. Now remember, it's not like I'm afraid I'm going to get poisoned or anything like that. It's just I'm trying my best to do right. I'm trying my best to do right. So I've got the almond flour, and I've got the pork rinds, or I've got those. Why not just go ahead? You know, like I said, if I get a little crossed and get a breadcrumb or two, that's not going to hurt me. Lord have mercy. And I could eat the same thing that Papa eats, just eat it in smaller portions. But this helps with the people that are trying to watch their carbs, because carbs turns into sugar. And I've found out I have a lot of diabetic followers. So we'll be right back when we get to the stove. Okay, I've already got my dish greased, and I'm going to lay these in there. I hope I have room enough for 4 of them. If I don't, I don't think I'm going to. Hang on a minute. We'll go to a larger dish. I'm putting that last piece. This is the pork rind piece. I'm putting it in there. Now, I'm going to wash those dishes. I've got my pan all greased up. Uh-oh. Got my pan all greased up, and I'm going to clean some of this mess up and be back. Okay, while I'm frying that other one in the skillet underneath here, I'm going to take some I just shredded this Parmesan. Just did the Parmesan, and I'm saving some for the last piece there. Then I'm going to put a little bit of mozzarella on here. Put a little bit of mozzarella on there. I love fresh shredded parm. There's just nothing like it. And when that last one comes out, I will put some on there. Let me see if I need to flip it right now. Let me set that to the side. With that nice sear. I'm leaving it about slung that, that is the pork rinds that I put on there right now. Then I'm going to put a little bit, while that's browning on that side, for about 2 or 3 minutes. And then I'm going to take a little bit of minced and just put it all over each piece. A little bit of minced garlic. And I will fix this last piece up the same way. And then we're going to pop it in the oven on 350. And we're going to bake it uncovered. I'm just going to turn that off, let it sit there a minute. I'm going to let Pop try the, put the last one in. Scoot over, everybody. Let this big one in. And I always put a cup of water, hot water in there. Loosens up everything. Loosens up my pan. Wait just a minute. It's not going to hurt it to sit there. I'm going to go, instead of moving back and forth, y'all don't know, I could have this done in a flash, but where I video it, it makes it harder for me to, let me flip this over. See if it'll fit a little bit better that way. There we go. I'm going to put little Parmesan on here. I'm going to put a little mozzarella on there. And I'm going to put a little bit of minced garlic. Okay. I'm going to take just a pinch of salt to go over these. You know, there's no salt in any of the breading that I put. You know, we've got to have a little bit of flavor. And that wasn't even a half teaspoon, everything I put on there. Wasn't even that much. I'm going to put just a little bit of black pepper. And if you want to make this a little bit more spicy, you can put you some red pepper flakes, you know, and that sure will, you know, give a little kick. If you need a kick and you say, well, that's too bland for me or whatever, put you some red pepper flakes on there. Now, I'm going to move all this back and get this in the oven. Oh my, oh my. Look at this. I'm going to serve Pops. And I left them in the oven 350 for 30 minutes. And the last 10 minutes, I just laid a piece of foil over it. But they were uncovered for 20. And then I put a, you know, if you get to looking in there and you say, well, it's getting a little bit too brown, then lay you a piece of aluminum foil over the top. Now, I want to get a pretty picture of that. Oh my, I got me a fork and a knife. This dish is so hot. I'm going to just cut me a little corner because, hang on a minute. This is going to be hot. I want to get some of that good crust on there. Lord. the pork rinds made a great breading for it. And I'm getting, it tastes good, and I'm getting a lot of protein. Protein from the meat, protein from the cheese, and protein from the breading that I put on there, made out of the pork rinds. It's really good. I'm gonna serve Pops with a big plate of mashed potatoes, some green beans, and he'll really enjoy that. So, I hope y'all get a chance to make you some. You can probably make this for your whole family, and it will not, they probably won't be able to tell the difference. When I was looking in there, I thought, which one is the breaded one that you put in? I mean, I had to really, and then I remember, I think I put them on the ends and put Pops in the center. Lord, I hope so. I hope so. What y'all say? I'm sorry. It's very moist. Very moist. Look at that. Now, I want it to get about 165 with your meat thermometer if you're checking it in the center. But those are really good, and they're going to be good for supper. Like I said, I'm not eating supper right now. I just had lunch, and it's in the afternoon, but it's about 2:30 here. I'll cover that up, and I will make Pop the other dishes that I'm going to serve him with it. And me, I don't need anything else, just that and a few little vegetables. Well, listen, I'm going to go. Want y'all to know how much I love y'all, how much I appreciate you all watching my videos, sharing my page with others. I really appreciate it more than you'll ever know. I love yous. And I want you to know how much that the good Lord loves you. Oh, young'uns. No matter what we're going through, God is with us. He really is. He's with us no matter what's happening in the world or whatever. God is with us. Remember how much He loves you. He loved you enough to come and die on the cross. He loved me enough to come and die on the cross for our sins. All we have to do is call out on His name, and we can be saved. Please talk to the Lord. Pray, and just, if you say, well, I just really don't know what to do. Do you have a friend that's a Christian? Get out your Bible. Go over in Romans. Romans 10:13 says, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Call on His name while He's still near. While He's near, young'uns. After a while, He might not be here. He might not speak to your heart anymore and say, hey, you need to be saved. I'm going to go, and the Lord willing, I will see you all for another recipe. And if not, I'll see you up there, okay? Love yous. Bye-bye.